I want to thank everyone for bringing your beautiful energy and spirit here. We're all gathered to celebrate Bobby, and we're gonna do it the best way we know how, which is to boogie down to some Bobby and Grateful Dead tunes. That's what we do, right? We're gonna live on forever in our spirit, through our spirit, from Bobby and the guys. So with that, I'm gonna welcome the folks from Stella Blues and Kevin here.
Hey everybody, just give us maybe 2 minutes here. We're here to celebrate and honor Bob Weir, right? Think about it. As a 17-year-old, when the band formed, Bob was 5 years younger than Jerry, 7 years younger than Phil. He was placed in between two musicians who were the most singular and creative on their instruments. Some guitarists might have just folded back into the traditional rhythm guitar role. Bob did just the opposite. He developed a highly individual and idiosyncratic approach to the function of the second guitarist in a rock band. Rather than just strumming along, providing a wash of sound on some basic chords, Bob innovated a completely new way for a second guitarist. His approach provided a counterpoint to the melodies that Jerry and Phil played, and in this way, he contributed to the overall weaving aesthetic that we know defines Grateful Dead music. So in addition to celebrating Bob the person, we're also here to affirm the music and the community in which Bob played such a central role in creating. The existence of this community owes to the spirit of the music and the experience it creates in all of us. For many of us, living this life without having experienced this music and this community is unimaginable. Steve Leisman's the man who takes on Bob's musical role in Stella Blues Band. As much as anyone that I've played with since my first Grateful Dead show in 1973, Steve takes seriously the necessity of studying what Bob's creativity adds to this music. While he can't be with us today physically, he's with us in spirit, and what we'd like to do is share some words that Steve posted on his personal Facebook page. I feel enormous sadness with the passing of Bob, but also overwhelming joy that I got to know him, to have been a rider on his musical journey, that my boys grew up to know and love his music, and that I was around for him to inspire me for decades, that I got to learn his music. The one thing maybe I can add to the beautiful tributes already out there is just how relentless this laid-back cowboy was. Bob always joked that he was trying to get things just exactly perfect, but it was no joke. He really was searching for the sound. This wasn't a cliche for him. It was his endless life's pursuit. He would come off stage after thrilling thousands time after time, thinking immediately how it could have been better, what he would change for the next show. He reinvented himself on guitar countless times, tinkered endlessly with his equipment, forever searching for that next pedal or sound or guitar. I always wondered if he would ever get there, but over time I came to realize he was so relentless that he never would. So he played, and all he ever wanted to do was play. New groups of musicians, try it with an orchestra, try it with a three-piece. Maybe he would get it right by just playing solo acoustic, or in a duo. If he only had a box where he could control the crossover of bass and treble on his acoustic, yeah, let's work with Mike to invent that. Or work with the luthiers at the D'Angelico to come up with a production design and then change out the pickups. Call Perry and let's work on the Strat again, only to be told there's no wood left to hold the pickups after it's been modded so many times. So let's go back to the Tobacco Gibson 339. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Pair it with the AC 360, except I really want to be using these Mesa 15-watt amps. And I want to get with Mickey after playing with him for 40 years and talk about this new idea I have for sound design, right after I get done working with the songwriters in Nashville. And then there's this N9 modulation box. Got to get back to Perry to program. And I really want to use two of them. And poor Matt would try to explain to Bob there really isn't time to work on that. Bob was a relentless ambassador for good. His problem was an absolute inability to say no to almost any request. The thing he learned quickly about being around Weir was to never ask him for anything. Not because he would get angry, but because he'd inevitably say yes. He had an unrelenting optimism that he could do good. He seemed to feel an unrelenting responsibility to use his status to better the world. A soul with such endless energy and purpose does not leave. It swirls around in eternity with the force with which he lived. From the echoes of the notes from that last pull-off that reverberates in all of our heads. It only grows stronger. It never stops. Never, ever stops.
Now I have to try to play. What's that? Old man thing or something? Mute me a sec. There. I swear I won't do that again. And as you noticed, and as Ken mentioned, Steve couldn't be with us here today. He's traveling with the family. And I'd like to thank Mr. Kevin Griffin for joining us.
It's an honor, thank you.
Kevin, if I couldn't make it, he'd have spelled me, I'm telling you.
You can help me on
You know, talking to still count for. Yeah. Oh. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We can share the women, we can share the wine. We can share what